So Daniel's asking a question about how many buy-ins would you have in your bankroll if you were a 6 BB per 100 winner? Well, first question that comes up is, how do you know that you're a 6 BB per 100 winner? Is the sample size large enough? All right, because that's always something to keep an eye on. I mean, some people are, and I'm not saying that's you, but I know that a lot of people are too quick to assume the win rate just based on a small sample. And we're playing PLO here, so large sample is important to estimate the true win rate. Now, should the win rate determine the size of your bankroll? I would be more concerned about variance and standard deviation, right? So, because if there's a lot of variance in your results, so if the standard deviation is pretty high, your bankroll, your sessions, your swings are going to be big, right? If you have big swings, if you're at the risk of wiping out, that would be obviously a horrible, horrible result. So the bankroll in general, bankroll management should protect you from ruin. So never be at risk of ruin. That's my advice, right? How many buy-ins exactly? I think, and I keep saying this every time somebody asks me that, I think it's individual based on so many variables, like where are you at in your career? Do you have any other sources of income? Do you have savings? Because, that's another problem. A lot of people treat their poker bankroll as their wallet, right? So if you're actually paying expenses from your bankroll, then the size of your bankroll is actually not your bankroll, because guess what? Your landlord will demand the rent, so all of these things count. So if you're managing the money correctly, all right, well, this was interesting by Ricky. I don't think that's a great hand to cold call a 3-bet, but worked out for him quite nicely. So anyway, back to the bankroll question. Don't risk ruin ever. Be ready to move down. So if you set some bankroll restrictions, follow them. Because too many people fail to move down when they have to, absolutely have to. Even when they know that they have to, they still fail to do it because chasing losses is a huge thing. You get into a bad run, and you start feeling like, whatever, I'm going to get it back today. I'm going to get it back tomorrow. It's all good. And what if it doesn't happen, right? So again, we come back to the same idea of risk of ruin, risk of being wiped out. And yeah, so basically there are too many factors to just give a cookie cutter sort of advice to you. There's a lot of information out there on Kelly criterion and bankroll management in general. So if you're interested in the theory, you can look up some formulas and stuff, the whatever suggested numbers of bankroll. But like I said, consider your personal circumstances, and also not only that, just emotional as well. Because, if you grind every day or close to, if it's your full-time occupation, or at least a big part of your occupation, let's put it this way, then, if the swings have a big emotional effect on you, it's unhealthy. All right. What I mean is, for example, if you're having a bad day, a bad session, and the size of the loss can have a big negative impact on how you feel, you're probably playing too high. All right. And, well, like I said, it's not healthy, so don't be in that position. I mean, I often hear people talk about how they played a session and lost like 20% of their bankroll in a session. Do they really think it's good bankroll management? Unless obviously that session was deliberate shot take where all other circumstances are fine, that you have savings, you're financially stable, so you can take a shot, take a risk with your bankroll. But if you don't have that luxury, then it's basically, you're going to set yourself back in your progress. That's the best case scenario, right? And you could just risk some financial hardship. And nobody should be in that position because, well, if you, as a poker player, are in that position, you basically placed yourself there. You basically got there yourself. You have nobody else to blame. All right, well, I actually don't remember what happened on the flop, which is a bad sign because it's not the first hand in the last 5 minutes or so when I'm actually completely oblivious to what's going on mid-hand. And of course, I always keep reminding you guys, but I think it's very important that if you notice yourself doing the same thing which I just described, at least take a break, or maybe it's time to quit the session. All right, so don't play tired, don't play unfocused, and definitely don't have like your browser, your YouTube, or whatever other bullshit open and running while you're trying to make some money. Treat it as a professional should. All right, so we have a top set on all tables. And that's obviously great news. I'm gonna call here, and I am gonna raise it up here. Well, 4-5 got there, but we obviously have a pretty good redraw with our hand. Oh, and he got jacks on a turn. How beautiful. How beautiful that he got jacks on the turn. Our opponent got quite lucky, and I think he didn't play it very good on the flop either. To be honest, shouldn't be even playing pre-flop. Yeah, let's raise it up. Raising it up sounds like a good idea. We are getting it in against an overpair a lot of the time, but we're in a great shape there. And he has a tough decision to make. Yep, we're getting it in. Let's see how we're doing. We're actually in amazing shape. We're ahead, even though he has a higher, well, 2-pair at the moment. But now our ace comes in handy, and it gets even better by the river. Not that we needed it, but still. Do you ever drink while playing? I don't drink while playing online. I'd like to say never drink while playing online, but for a very long time, I wouldn't ever drink while playing online. While playing live, yeah, sure, because sometimes you have to. I used to play. Now there's a pandemic. I guess you guys heard about it. So I used to play a lot of private games, and in general, a lot of live games, and sometimes you're at the table where I don't want to say you need to drink, but it's part of the game. And it's all good. I like a good drink, but I'd never drink while playing online. So anyway, you know what? Actually, I'm going to raise it up here. And, well, we are gonna make a bet. I'm just gonna go 1/4, 1/3. I said 1/4, and I went 1/3. So deuce 4 obviously got there. What else is new? Yeah, let's just do this. And I am calling the river if he decides to bet. And I'm not betting myself a value. I don't think we're getting called very often. Wow, actually 10-6 could have, should have, but still I feel good about not betting there. I'm gonna make a quick bet here, a little open here, and now that we have a king, actually, I don't feel the need to continue bluffing, and we're just showing down happily. Unfortunately, better to pair. Well, yeah, better to pair.